I have a very serious question I want to ask today. A very serious question. Do fire alarms ever go off in football matches? As much as I tried to do some research in this area, I found a few, maybe I found a couple, not too many. There was one, I believe, in Luton Town, and there was one, a football match between Tottenham and Nottingham Forest, and there was another one, but they were just minor. You cannot tell me as big as a football stadium, 50,000 people sometimes, 60,000 people, and not once a fire alarm go off live on television, whereby they had to stop the match and evacuate that 60,000 people. Have they even these football clubs, have they even conducted drills on how to evacuate 50,000 people or 60,000 people? Of course, occasionally, or maybe they do as part of their policy or club policy, maybe they do drill every now and then with an empty stadium. There's one thing to do a drill with an empty football stadium, and there is another thing to do a drill with a stadium that is packed with 50,000 or even 60,000 people. How would that drill look like? How many fire wardens will be required? The reason why I'm saying this is because a few years back I worked in a residential, not few years back, long time ago, I worked in a residential housing development. Sometimes the management, the property management team, they conduct the drill in such a way that the residents are not evacuated. They only evacuate the staff. But they put the report in a way that, oh, we've conducted a drill, we've evacuated the entire estate. And we are talking an estate of about 2,000 or 3,000 apartments. And I saw one of the reports and I said to myself, you haven't evacuated the entire estate, you only evacuated the staff. But the report was saying otherwise. But with football, I have never seen any football match whereby the entire stadium was evacuated. And maybe you would see it live on TV with fire wardens, the referee stop the game and say, everybody, there has been a fire alarm activation in one of these, somewhere within the stadium. It could be in the toilet, it could be in the canteen, it could be in the kitchen, anywhere. And say, and let's, just the way the referees would do when they go and check a video assistant, the VAR. I've never seen where they stop the match and say, we are stopping the match because there is a fire alarm activation. You cannot tell me a football match will go for 90 minutes. 90 minutes, sometimes 120 minutes. Packed with 60,000 people. Out of that 60,000 people, there are different people, different personality. Some people are smokers. Some people want to cause trouble. Some people want to just throw fireworks around. Something. You cannot tell me 60,000 people with 60,000 personalities, and you will never see in a Premier League. How many games in the Premier League in the entire season? 38 games in the entire season. With packed football stadiums. And we are not talking about other competitions such as the FA Cup. We have the League Cup, Champions League. There's other competitions. And not just in England. We have Europe, Germany, France, Spain. Not once a referee say, I'm going to stop this match until that fire alarm investigation is complete. That just gives me the idea that Perhaps there is a protocol around it. Maybe the football club would say, if there is an activation, this is what we should do. We don't need to evacuate the entire stadium. We should perhaps investigate the activation. If it's a false alarm, we would silence the system. But if it's a real alarm, this is what we would do. You cannot tell me. I've been to so many environments where you have crowds. And I've even seen a situation whereby a shopping center was evacuated. And we are talking one of a big shopping center somewhere in East London was evacuated. There was I think somebody was smoking somewhere, and it triggered the smoke head, and that was it. The entire shopping center was shut down. I don't think all the businesses inside that shopping center care about the money that they would lose. At that point, they put safety first. Football, if a football match is stopped due to an activation, I can imagine, let's say they call the fire brigade, it takes the entire 90 minutes for them to investigate this activation, or if it's a real fire. You could imagine how much money will be lost in terms of not just the game itself, in terms of the betting side, in terms of the gambling, betting, gambling, they are the same, in terms of the private people who are also gambling, which we don't see in the mainstream gambling industry. Just imagine how much will be lost, or the impact of that cost to the football club. That will be drastic. I don't want to speculate, but I want to see a major football match that is stopped. Maybe it could be Real Madrid, Manchester City, or let's say somewhere in Germany. You have Bayern playing one other team, and then suddenly the game is stopped and everybody evacuated. What is even the backup plan in these kind of situations if it's a real fire? I can say a stadium that can take a capacity of 50 to 60,000 people should have nothing less than 100 smoke heads. If not even 100, 200 smoke heads. Because you have different layers where people are sitting. People sitting from the ground level and layer to the up. You cannot tell me 200 smoke heads and not one of them is activated in a 90 minutes game. 38 games throughout the season. Over 20 clubs all competing. Maybe somebody might have an experience whereby they've been to a match or a game that was with a huge capacity and people were evacuated. How many fire exits were there? I would like someone to maybe share their experience. I want to know, because you cannot evacuate people through 10 fire exits. 60,000 people through 10 fire exits? That's not going to be possible. So you are saying maybe 6,000 people per exit. How you if it's a real fire, how are you going to get them out? A real fire. How? Somebody needs to tell me, because I have not seen any. I want to see. Perhaps maybe Health and Safety Act, or the Health and Safety Regulators or Executive has a different policy when it comes to football clubs. Because so far they have been very strict with other industries and sectors. And when their safety are not on point, when they don't do regular drills, they are very strict on them. But in this occasion, football, I want to know. Somebody must know. So tell us what your experience, what you have experienced in a big match that whereby a fire alarm was activated. Thank you.